Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV Job and Class Quests. Last time, we started Astrologian, who turned out to be rather interesting. I guess these Heavensward quests are going to be a lot more in-depth. I guess I've gotten too used to the Realm Reborn ones being kind of, bland and generic. This one's a lot more interesting, a lot more involved with Ishgard. Not unsurprising considering it's taking place in Ishgard. But anyway, we had to deal with Janequard, his lovely uncle, who's basically trying to sabotage his efforts to bring Sharlayan astrology to Ishgard, because Ishgard doesn't care about astrology, except when it comes to how it can predict the dragon attacks. The uncle was so freaking petty that he freaking sicked the Sharlayan, orthodoxy on our visiting Astrologian. It's sad, really. It really is. I think these people would learn by now, but, stuck up, right? Anyway, Janequard, let's pick up the quest line with Sharlayan Ascending. Now that Volmont has so graciously agreed to discontinue his meddling in our affairs, I believe we may find our peers and colleagues more receptive to our proposals. Perhaps I shall begin with another trip to the vault to inquire about them reconsidering my petition to grant Lady Leviva the opportunity to speak with the Conclave. We all have our strengths, Janequard, and none will deny yours as convincing seemingly sane people to do your bidding. Wow. Dekumon here is a testament to that. I look forward to hearing of your progress. As for myself, there are still some questions I need answered. The first being, how exactly did Volmont come into contact with the Sharlayan assassins? And why are the Sharlayan assassins anyway? I thought we were a nation of, scholars. Yeah, that's my thought there. Gwynperin, attend me. I wish to visit Foundation and learn if there have been any sightings of suspicious foreigners. Besides me. Might I suggest that Dekumon do the same here at the Observatorium? Perhaps a second call on our new ally will help my uncle recall what he may have omitted in the heat at the previous moment. Alright, I can do that. Oh, he should just be right below us. I still have to figure out what the heck I'm gonna play next. I'm just, like I said, I'm still bouncing between 2 or 3 different ideas. As for the next job quest series that we're gonna do after this, well, I'm now effectively committed to getting Samurai done because, well, I technically did spin it. So they are at the front of the line for that little thing. All right, Volmont. 7 hairs. I rue the day I ever want to see another Sharlayan. Please, I've done all you asked. What more do you want from me, blood? Or are you simply here to boast? Or maybe you wish to know how the Sharlayans came to be involved in my scheme. Heh, I thought as much. If it was so important, why didn't your Lady Leviva ask me earlier? Her head is so far in the stars, she fails to see what unfolds around her on the ground. The truth is, it was never my scheme in the first place. It was the Sharlayans. They came to me not long after Professor Mace's ship was diverted to Thanalan. Yes, I said diverted. The pirates in the Strait of Melthor, the magically manipulated storms of the Rontaro, all was staged to prevent your friends from ever arriving. But when they did, the Sharlayans were forced to change their plans. They required help hiring local hands discreetly, something they could not do as foreigners. I agreed to lend them my aid because I felt we both stood to benefit from the disappearance of Janequard and that foul chit. Yeesh. Okay. Well, that was pleasant. Also, we now know for sure that, the Sharlayans are the ones causing the trouble. Okay, there you are. Gonna go all the way to the bottom. The Chief Astrologian. There is rarely a day when he isn't meeting with visitors from across the realm and beyond. Why, this past moon he has been entertaining guests with very distinct markings on their faces. I asked Lord Volmont whence they hailed, and he only answered, the north. The north? I don't know what is to the north here. I don't know what north he's talking about. Where is Sharlayan, honestly? Oh, there it is, Old Sharlayan. Yeah, that would technically be considered north then. Alright, let's report in. The Sharlayans came to him? That can only mean then that my uncle was only a pawn in a much larger game. A game that began long before we ever became involved. Think back, Dekumon. The bandits in the Black Shroud, and those pirates you described that attacked you in Limsa Lominsa. They all had strange facial markings, as did our false Astrologian. It's not much, but perhaps Lady Laviva will be able to make more sense out of it all. Despite the time we have spent together, I have this feeling she is yet to be completely honest with us. But look at me. A beloved relative tries to have me killed, and the next day I begin doubting everyone. What a sad, sad state of affairs. Perhaps to clear my head, I should call on that fine young Viscountess visiting House Halinar from her family's stead in the Eastern Highlands. The friggin' Lech is at it again! This information on Voldemort's associates should be relayed to Lady Laviva immediately. Would you be so kind? I seem to recall them saying they'd be questioning Highborn in the Pillars. Well, thankfully it's not that far from here. There's Quimperin, but where's Laviva? My lord, were you able to learn anything of import at the observatorium? Oh, did we ever? Lord Voldemort was not the one to hire the Sharlayans. Lady Laviva will want to know. Lady Laviva? Lady Laviva? Oh, she was right here! Dammit! We must find her. I would not think any harm could come to her here in the center of the Holy See. But then again, that is what we believed back at Camp Dragonhead. I shall search the Hoplon. Might I ask that you search in the opposite direction near the last vigil? Oy. How? This girl is like a kidnapping magnet, I swear. Oh crap, another Astrologian. You recognize me, don't you? I'm sorry. I think you might have mistaken me for someone else. Yeah, I definitely did not mistake you for someone else. That's our bandit. Oh, and there's Laviva. Okay, so she's fine. She didn't get kidnapped. We're all good. But she was being stalked.
Dekumon, while you were speaking with Quimperin, someone approached me from behind and placed a dagger to my back. I had no choice but to be led silently away. Luckily, my assailant let down his guard when we arrived in the shadows, and I was able to deliver him a swift kick to the groin. I've been running ever since.
Yeah, you were being stalked.
Oh, so Voldemort wasn't the architect of this scheme to drag me back to Sharlayan after all. I had my suspicions. I was a fool to believe they would simply let me leave. Do you recall when I mentioned there were people in the old world intent on hoarding our nation's knowledge?
Yes.
Well, it appears that my efforts to train you in Shanaquad have attracted their ire. Dekumon, allow me to apologize. I have not been wholly frank with you about my reason for visiting Eorzea. The truth is, I came here because of my father. My father dreamed of rekindling the Holy See's interest in Sharlayan astrology, believing that it would be of great benefit to the embattled people of Ishgard. He came here several moons after I was born, intending to remain for only a season. However, he never made the return journey. His dream was left unrealized, and his newborn daughter left without a father.
From the colony, right.
Never once did I meet him, but every night when I looked to the stars, I know that those are the same skies that he too gazed upon. The same skies he used as his strength and guide. It was only natural that I follow in his footsteps. In spite of the objections from my mother, who did not wish to see her only daughter lost as well. And here I am in Eorzea, almost 2 decades later, pursuing a dream my father never lived to realize. A dream that has become my own. And now someone is trying to stop me. Well, just let them try, I say. Just let them try.
I was gonna say, and here comes someone to try, right?
Oh, Lady Lavina, a maiden of your beauty should not wander off without an escort.
Oh, no, this is Shanaquad.
Monsters hide even in the shadows of the pillars. Maiden? Flattery will earn you nothing, Shanaquad. But I will accept it nonetheless. Tell me, what did the Vault say to our proposal?
They accepted it. We have been given official permission by the Holy See to conduct a symposium on the wonders of Sharlayan astrology, with you as our guest speaker. Now come, we must hurry back to the Ethereum and begin preparations. More than 15 summers to make ready for this moment, and now I only have a matter of days. That's the way it goes, my friend. You'd honestly think that after 15 years, Janako would actually have some notes typed up.
Dekumon, this has been a most beguiling past few moons. I must say, I truly do not expect the turns that my fate has taken. I suppose that speaks much to my capacity as a reader to the heavens. I am blind to what goes on in Foundation, so I will not claim that my life is in any way difficult. But that does not mean I do not have my share of troubles, however trivial they may be. Being anything but first in line to a courtship is not all halls and rainbows. The Count only truly cares about his newly appointed heir, just like the rest of my family. They expect great things from him. From me, well, they expect nothing. For a long time, I tried to prove that I could be as great as my cousin. It is why I went to Sharlayan. It is why I've tried to do things I had no business even trying. Then, once I realized no one was looking, I simply stopped caring. My actions becoming more and more outlandish, because at the end of the day, that is what everyone expected of me. But then you two walked through that door and helped me realize that maybe life has more to the coffin than has been fitted for me. Maybe the fate I believed was mine was not mine at all. And for helping me see that, Dekumon, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Aww, he actually cares. The next Astrologian quest is available on 52, yes. Well, we're already there. Empty Nest.
I have good news and bad news. The good news is preparations for the symposium on Sharlayan astrology have been progressing smoothly, as we have expectantly encountered very little resistance from the Vault. They have even gone to the trouble of securing us a spacious venue for the event. The bad news is, this spacious venue in question lies in Falcon's Nest. Lest you wonder, I speak of the same frigid building site in the middle of nowhere that you will doubtless have heard so many good things about. Yes, my friend, that Falcon's Nest. Yet, I suppose this may be a blessing in disguise. I am just not certain what that blessing may be. Perhaps we should all make for the hamlet and see.
That shouldn't be too much of a problem. I've been there enough times.
Here we are. Greetings, Dekumon. It appears that not only is our symposium to be held in a tiny hamlet moments away from civilization, crawling with people who cannot even spell astrology, let alone grasp how it works, but that no one in the whole town has even been informed of our arrival. The three of us have been spending the last bell speaking with whomever will listen, inviting them to attend the event, so at least we won't be speaking to an empty forum. Oh, worry not, my friend. We have saved the Northern District just for you.
Lovely. Yeah, let's see if they actually give a crap.
Sharlayan astrology, eh? You a heretic? Because you're talking like one. There's only one kind of astrology in this garden, and it ain't the heathen kind. Considering as you're an unbeliever, I suppose the knights might allow you to yap and yammer. But cause too much commotion, you'll be disappeared like that other lad.
No, when was that?
Other lad.
Bloody heretics.
Oh god, dude, your frame rate was not happy there.
An outrider, and his wounds look deep. Is there a cutter nearby?
Who needs a cutter when I have the power of the stars upon me? Here, sir.
What is sorcerer? My guts, they knit themselves. Are you a healer, adventurer? If so, I have another request of you. There were others in my scouting party. We were all wounded, some of us more gravely than others. I fear that my fellow knights may be in grave danger. Would you seek them out and tend to them as you did me? I will report to Sir Redwold, but fear that by the time he can muster reinforcements, several men will have already perished.
See, Janaquad, this is what you need to do. They don't need the theory of astrology. They need the practicality. Oh dear, oh dear. Looks like somebody is in the middle of some sheet. Oh god, we're seriously in some sheet. Hang on. Where's gravity? Dose. There we go.
Oh, I thank you, adventurer. I shall tell the fury of your kindness when I kneel before her at the gates to...
Oh, shut up and take your heels. No, him. There you go.
How did you... It is as if I've never dealt a single wound. What manner of magics do you wield, my friend?
I wield the power of the stars, astrology.
Astromancy? But I thought the stars served only to grant us insight into the Horde's movements. Why are there not more astrologians in the field? You people will be damned useful. You and your companions are in Falcon's Nest to discuss that very topic. Perhaps I could persuade others in the garrison to attend. Now, I must hurry back to the hamlet. My captain will want a full report of the day's happenings.
See? This is a much better way to promote astrology. Alright, Janaquad, I'm back.
Where have you been? When you did not return, we visited the northern gates and found the area astir with night activity. You left the hamlet to aid wounded scouts? Or you could have been killed, or eaten, or killed then eaten, or eaten then killed. Ooh, that one sounds kinky.
Dang it, Shanaquad.
What is this? You say your display of astromancy has impressed the knights into attending our event. This may work to our advantage. If the knights begin clamoring for astrologians to be assigned to their ranks, then the scene may just listen. Let us find these good men and inform them that the symposium is about to commence.
I really think we should spread the word more, but alright. There you are.
Those whole-fostered bulls, not a single-person game. I told you this was a terrible plan.
Use the confusion from the jam-packed symposium to approach the target, she says. You'll have her out of the hamlet before her companions know she's gone, she says. Even a blind babe could have seen that no one would gather for a talk on astrology in the middle of swiping. Oh shit.
Hello, Sharlayans.
The astrologian who tended to my wounds.
Oh.
As you can see, both me and my fellow knight made swift recoveries. Thanks to your wonderful magics, of course.
Methinks you didn't tell anyone.
Reinforcements from the garrison never arrived. Reinforcements... I spoke with Sir Gridwolf myself. I even spelled his name correctly, see? Perhaps he felt there was no need for reinforcements after I convinced him what an able healer you were. Yes, that's it. That is most certainly the reason. Yes. And as much as we would like to attend, the captain has already assigned us to another mission. I apologize to you and your companions. Perhaps we can make the next symposium. Carry on then.
Oh dear, oh dear. They were plants.
Well, that is it then. The vault wins.
Not entirely.
Do not think of it as such, Lady Laviva. This is but one hurdle we must leap. The vault wants us to stop and turn around, and they will continue placing hurdles before us until we do. But we cannot let that discourage us. We must carry on until we reach our destination, or they run out of hurdles.
I mean, I could just overthrow them. I'll do that in about, 8 more levels worth of content?
You cry over hurdles. You know not how lucky you were.
Oh, you again.
Did you come for the symposium?
No, I wouldn't let anyone see me at that gathering. I'd be branded a heretic and sent to witch drop. Or worse, they'd just slit my throat and toss me onto the beast. Like as they did to that other astrologian from the old world.
Oh. Or Papa.
The other astrologian? When was this?
When you reach my age, all the summers melt together. My hair still had color, so it must have been at least a score. Mayhap more, mayhap less.
There was an astrologian who was... But it was long ago. It could not have been anyone you knew.
Right, you weren't here for that story.
We cannot dwell on the past. We must needs find a way to interpret the cards we have been dealt, so that they might benefit the present, our present. No, it could not have been anyone I knew. I never had the chance to.
Wow. Dude, this took a dark turn fast.
You're right, Shanaquad. We mustn't let the vault or bandits or closed minds prevent us from achieving what we came here for. The stars will point the way. Oh dear. And we will help the people of Ishgard see that as well. Close-minded fools.
Like I said, give me a few more levels, I'll overthrow them. Solve a lot of problems that way. Alright, back again.
Lady Laviva did not take the old man's recollection of the slain astrologian well at all. I understand that hearing of a fellow colleague's death might unnerve someone, but you would think she had lost her father. Oh, Shanaquad, what have you done? I will not live down this offense, will I? You see, the astrologian of whom the old man spoke, it so happens that I knew him well. His name was Rufin, and he was my friend and confidant when I studied in Sharlayan. My only friend. He followed me back to Ishgard when my stay in the city-state was cut short by the Exodus. His dream was to rekindle interest in the forgotten techniques which gave rise to Ishgardian astrology. But this was a time when the Holy See was even more opposed to foreign ideas than they are now. That evening I discovered him bleeding at his bureau was one of the saddest in my life. But even at the hour of his death, Rufin remained strong, and and he made me promise that I would not let his dream fade because of the close-minded. Not that that has gone particularly well thus far. Yet, perhaps if we reach a greater accord with the stars, they will show us the way forward. Yes, that sounds likely.
Yeah, sure it does. But I think what we need is some conviction instead.
The Vault went and outdid themselves. The location for our next symposium, the Convictory, a makeshift camp for a band of bickering knights. I've spoken at length with Lady Leviva about how we might handle this second inconvenience so as not to meet the same fate we did in Falcon's Nest. I fear the worst, but the lady believes we may be approaching this all wrong, that we should embrace the situation and use it to our advantage. I believe she's merely unaccustomed to the thin upland air and her wits are not in order. Perchance we should make for the camp and see for ourselves.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Well, yes, it's back in, yep, thought so. Ah, yes, I remember this camp all too well, and, why is he, on the ground? That's concerning. And they just walk off.
Tread lightly, Dekumon. This is not the work of bandits. Quimprin's hurts were dealt by the Convictors. You were assaulted by the men sworn to protect us? This is madness! The Vault led the knights to believe that a party of Astrologians would be arriving to aid them in scrying the location of the Horde's next attack. They took out their frustration on poor Quimprin when they learned I can foretell the whims of a dragon about as well as I can those of Janaquard. But no, we must not let this discourage us. If words have no weight with these men, then let our magics do the speaking.
I think Quimprin could use the magics first off. Sheesh. Alright, cast aspect and benefit on 3 wounded convictors. Here you go.
But you're an Astrologian. You can't heal people. That's not what Astrologians do.
That's what real Astrologians do, dude. The others are simply fortune tellers.
The pain. It's gone. How'd you do that?
Alright, last one. There you are.
My wounds. It's as if they were never there.
Wait, who's gonna believe that I saw a dragon if I got the wounds to show for it?
I don't know whether to thank you or slit your damn throat. No, I suppose I wouldn't be able to do either if you hadn't healed me with those queer magics. So this day, I'll see fit to forgive you.
I was gonna say, please tell me there's a secret goal where I can just cast Malefic back on that guy and wound him again. I feel like he deserves that. Yeesh. You'd think people on the front lines would be more appreciative of healers. Especially magic healers. Yeah, dude, magic. It's amazing, isn't it?
You.
Oh, dagnabbit, it's the bandit again.
What is wrong, Leviva? Have you tapped too deeply into your mental reserves? Perhaps you take a moment of respite.
That blood is not the knight's.
You don't recognize? Yeah, seriously, how do you not recognize the freaking hairstyle?
Ah, the loyal lapdog. Without you to state the obvious, where would your masters be, pray tell?
You? Again?
One might think these markings would betray my identity, but you Eorzeans have a singular capacity to look without seeing. I'm amazed you are not constantly wandering into bonfires or off cliffs.
Salee, huh?
I have grown weary of this masquerade, and I am done with entrusting my fate to this realm's blundering mercenaries. My name is Salee, and I am here to take the Lady Leviva into custody so that she can be transported back to Sharlayan and tried for her crimes. Taken into custody? On whose authority? You are here with that permission of the Forum, performing acts which amount to treason. Your grandfather has already been detained and questioned. I'm giving you the opportunity to turn yourself in and put an end to this farce once and for all. Do as I say and no one will be harmed. Yourself included, Lady Leviva. But, Lady Leviva, I thought you and your grandfather were dispatched on an official expedition. It seems that Leviva has not told you everything. Did you know that it was her father who was killed nearly 15 summers past? 15 summers past, Janaquard. Your adventure friend seems already to have put 2 and 2 together. Why he didn't tell you earlier, I cannot fathom. What else are they leaving you out of Shandaquad they do in there? But silence. This is my final warning. When you see me again, you will either give yourself up, or you will die at my blade. Think on that, Leviva.
She's a freaking master of disguise. She shows up everywhere.
Dekumon, Lady Leviva's wound is deep. I do not believe I can heal it on my own. Lend me your aid.
Alright. One more aspected benefit coming right up. There we are. One heal spell later.
Thank you, my friends. For someone who claims she was hired to bring me back to Sharlayan, her aim was quite true. Lady Leviva, this silly claims that you are not here with the blessing of the Forum. Is this so? Why did you not see fit to mention this? My grandfather knew that the Forum would never allow us to come to Ishgard, and that their contemplation over the matter was merely a tactic to stall and discourage us. The stars had spoken to my grandfather, and he was not about to turn a deaf ear to them. I kept silent because I did not wish to let the politicking of men thousands of miles to the north stand in the way of our dream to spread the word of Sharlayan astrology. And such was my father's dream, until he was killed for it by close-minded peasants.
Oof.
But Rufin never once spoke ill of those he wished to enlighten, even at his end. Wait, how do you know my father's name?
Come on, seriously? You two need to have a proper talk here.
Your father and I became close friends when I was in Sharlayan. When the Exodus forced me to return home, he asked if he could accompany me, saying that he wished to try and convince those who once believed in the star's power to look to the skies again. And we did for several moons. My countrymen were deeply skeptical and slow to warm to the idea of heathen magics. Some were even rude. But he never gave up on them, right up until he was...
Yeah.
I was there during your father's last moments. I heard a commotion come from his room late one night and went in to check, only to find him bleeding and slumped over his diary, which he was writing when he was attacked. With his last strength, he handed me the diary and asked that I do not blame my people and that I continue our work. I believe this belongs with you now.
Bloody diary, lovely. Probably accusing the Sharlayans of murdering him.
I do not know if I can forgive those who killed my father. I do not expect you to forgive us yet, but knowing that he did, even at the moment of his death, perhaps will help you one day understand. You have always reminded me of Rufin, even before I knew he was your father. Your passion for your discipline equals his own, or may even exceed it.
I'm still of the opinion that the Sharlayans killed him under the guise of being Ishgardians.
Father, did you know what fate awaited you in this realm? Did you see all this? Did the stars of humanity pave the way for me? If they did, then I shall not allow anyone to stand in your way.
Aw, Quimper, are you getting a crush on Leviva?
You are right, good man. And so I shall allow this breach of etiquette. But if you fail to address Lady Leviva properly again, I'll have you spit shining the privy back at Durandare Manor. Oh, leave him be, Shandaquad. Without Quimper in here, I'd have been tied up and shipped back to the old world moons ago. The stars have him here with me. He's not going anywhere. And neither am I. I am done with symposiums. That is not what my father wanted. He came here not to speak of astrology. He came here to use it. And so, that is what I shall do. There are still many convictors who can benefit from these magics.
Damn, girl. That's what you call conviction.
And what a better way to convince people of your greatness than by ensuring they remain alive long enough to sing your praises.
See? Like I said, show, not tell.
Shani, will you tell me of my father?
Aww.
I would be delighted, my lady. Unless that is you mean now, as I have prior engagement with a pair of lovely baronesses from House Desmel, and I would not wish to keep them waiting.
Jesus. I nod at the lechery. Shandaquad's done with his threesome already.
And to think that my old friend Rufin may have seen what grim fate awaited him in Ishgard, but chose to come anyway, knowing that it would inspire both me and his daughter. God, sometimes these celestial machinations are simply too grand in scope to grasp. However, If it is as we believe, then we must, as Quimperin so bluntly stated, make sure that naught disrupt us on our path to that fate. Perhaps it is time I reveal to you a more powerful form of Malefic, so that you might be better prepared for the trials that are to follow. That fur upon your brow suggested you could have used that spell earlier in your training. In retrospect, I would be inclined to agree.
Yeah, I would have loved Malefic 2 earlier, though I'm pretty sure we're past that at this point. Doesn't mean I won't take it. Alright, next up, Feather in the Cap.
I am happy to report that Laviva is fine and well, and hasn't been attacked by bandits, dastard curs, Sharlayan spies, or disgruntled knights once since her last encounter at the Convictory. After restoring health to all the Convictors so that they might return to getting wounded again, she journeyed northward into the Dravanian Forelands. If that journey was without incident, she should be in Tailfeather by now, tending to the chocobo hunters there. Might I suggest that we go and join her, Dekumon?
That would be lovely. Hello, Laviva.
Dekumon, it is good to see you again. I pray you have not been neglecting your training. Now, you may be wondering why I chose Tailfeather of all places to visit next. Well, the truth of the matter is, I did not choose it at all. It chose me. The hunters here somehow heard of what we had done at the Convictory and placed a formal request to have me come and tend to the hamlet's wounded. I would like to believe this proof that word of the benefit of Sharlayan astrology is slowly but surely spreading throughout the realm. But enough talk. There are so many ailing souls that require succor. Would you and Shanaquad mind assisting me again as you did in the Western Highlands?
Alright, how many bodies? Wow, 3 of them, and they're just scattered all over the place. One for you.
An honest healer! You a Tailfeather? No, I have seen everything.
This one's all the way over here at the front gate. There you are.
I don't know who you are, but you're good in my book.
I honestly think that, these people are going to be much more receptive to this sort of thing. After all, they've been on the front lines for goodness knows how long. And, well, being over here in Tailfeather, I feel like they're a little more, open-minded.
I praise the 12. I'm healed.
How about just praise the 1, me? Anyway, back to Laviva. There you are, girl.
These men and women have chosen a horrendously dangerous profession. A chocobo's talons can rip open flesh to the bone, and a single kick can knock an otherwise hale hunter out for a senite, if he even survives it. Many of them seem surprised, grateful of course, but surprised, that we were here helping them. Does the hamlet not have its own healers? Do the temple knights not dispatch the hospitalities this far from Ishgard? But the Holy See only cares for the war with the dragons. It cannot be bothered with a handful of hunters, despite the fact that these hunters are its citizens. I was told on my arrival that they manage with makeshift poultices created using herbs gathered from around the hamlet. When the wounds are more severe, they turn to the sole barber who, is also the local butcher, I'm sorry. My frustration with the situation coupled with the day's efforts have me slightly drained. Might I be allowed a few moments of respite?
You can, but you're not going alone.
Quimperin, Dekumon, would you be so kind as to accompany the lady on her stroll? It has been far too long since that Sharlayan assassin showed her face, and a reading I conducted earlier this morning showed a day rife with conflict and confusion.
Oh dear. Not that I don't trust Janacord's readings, but the fact that there's a duty calls here. Alright, let's see what we got.
I'm glad you came, Dekumon. There is something important I must tell you. Since Janacord gave me my father's journal, I spent my nights poring over his writings, trying to piece together what I could about his life. It appears he was hardworking and just. He trusted all and truly wanted to help people in need. He believed that knowledge should not be hoarded like food, but shared amongst the intellectually starved.
I mean, that sounds like a traditional Sharlayan who's not a complete piece of crap.
He also knew that there were those who would see him stopped. Persons who used their influence to trick and frighten the Forum into believing that knowledge should be kept at one's breast. Persons who saw my father as a threat. His final few entries all speak of how he feared for his life, of how one man in particular was working to see him dead. That man's name. It's not important, for in the end it turned out your father was killed by the very people he was foolish enough to trust. People who, in their slaying of a good man, proved that they were unworthy of the knowledge he so freely offered them. And now here you are, making the same mistake as he. Continue with this foolishness and you too will suffer his fate.
I was right, it was her. I had a feeling you were gonna show up.
Do not dare talk of my father as if you knew him. You know nothing. Your mind is as closed as the minds of those back in the old world who believe that hiding in their books will shield them from the pain and suffering of the real world. Oh, such passion. It is a pity it remains misdirected. My employer only wishes to see you back, safe in Sharlayan. The Forum recognizes your talent after all. You are an asset to our nation and its people. We would have you live a long and prosperous life, so that you may rise even higher than your father ever had the opportunity to. But we both know you are far too stubborn to take this gift so graciously offered. You would rather fight, and you know, so would I. No more games, Aviva. Let us end this, right here, right now, with your precious stars as our witness.
You know, in broad daylight.
Spared no one, not even the girl.
And she walks off. Not even the girl, but the girl. Alright, let's just start nuking down and keep an eye on Quimperan's health. And just mash the good old gravity button. That's all I'm doing. Oh, I pulled aggro. Oh well, no surprise there. There we are. Give him all the cards. There's Celine. I'm just gonna start working my way through the back row here. Oh, the tail feather hunters are showing up. Hell yeah. Oh, I have divination this level. I should be abusing that. Yes, I'm watching Quimperan's health. I'm watching Quimperan's health disappear here. Alright, and then it was just you, girl. Interesting that she's a scholar, not an astro. Oh. She will not die like her father did. Ooh, that's a big kitty. I expect to do this just Helios. Watching everybody's health. Everyone's doing good. Just burn down the demon kitty. Grab a fresh stack of cards. Put them all on Quimperan. Give you a fresh combust. And we're back to the Malefic races. There's literally like a firing line dealing with Celine. The irony, huh? So did we kill her or are we taking her prisoner?
Are you alright? I heard the commotion and came as quickly as I could. Not as quickly as these four. You remember, the hunter so gravely wounded not less than a bell ago? If memory serves me, they could barely lift a finger, let alone rush headlong into a heated battle and help turn the tide.
Oh, don't be too hard on the silk skirt. Turns out we didn't need his help any road.
Who'd have thought it, eh? Real life fighting Astrologians. Now I truly have seen everything. The fever. I dare say those men would not have risked their lives had they little respect for us or our craft. You were right. Our actions here have done more to promote Sharlayan astrology than any long-winded discourse. Why, I expect this very night the tale of your daring deeds will be told 100 times over in mead halls across the Forelands.
That's very true.
Which means it will not be long before the Forum has heard as well. We Sharlayans may have officially abandoned this realm, but our ears remain. If the one who hired Celia is who I think it is, then I expect not less than a formal edict of extradition to be issued. An edict of extradition? But Sharlayan has no power to force Ishgard to deliver you into their hands.
Yeah, but are they really just gonna resist it?
Furthermore, what exactly is it that you have done wrong, but allowed others to partake in your great nation's bottomless well of knowledge, as I did more than 15 summers ago when I studied in her halls? Things changed after you left Shaniquad. Many even believe it was my father's death that tipped the scales in favor of closing Sharlayan's doors and locking away all our knowledge. If the Forum deems it so, I could be arrested and imprisoned for the theft of natural resources. And I see no reason why your Holy See, who has already shown its disdain for our efforts, would stand in its way. So what do we do? Your grandfather, your father, they've given up so much to see you here. We cannot just concede defeat now that we have finally begun to make headway. I never said we would, Shane. I have no intention of giving up or giving in. Doing so would be to deny the sacrifices made by my father and grandfather. The stars have shown me the path I must take. There is no other. And it begins back in Tailfeather, healing those who aided us. I will see the two of you in Ishgard once I have settled matters here. Quimperin will see when I arrive unharmed.
I'm sure he will. After all, our would-be assassin's gonna need a new hired hand. Ay.
Lady Leviva still has not returned from Tailfeather. Oh, but do not worry. I have had word that she simply intends to stay a few turns of the sun longer. What we should be worrying about, however, is the Forum and their pending decision on our companion's extradition. If an official edict is drafted, I fear we may find ourselves at the mercy of the Vault. And if that were to happen, there would be little we can do to keep Leviva here short of starting a war. If only we had more time. When I was studying in Sharlayan, I heard whispers of an ancient astromantic spell which could stop time at the very moments of the heavens. All of my professors denied its existence, of course.
Trumped. Oh, lovely.
Word of Lady Leviva's charity has begun spreading, my friend. I have attended more than one luncheon where it was positively dripping off the tongues of all the good lords and ladies. And the knights. Oh, the knights, they have started rumbling about my magics that not only heal the wounded but also enhance the strengths of the healthy, are not being employed to save the lives of those on the front lines. Needless to say, the Vault is not amused. Their plan to have us fade into obscurity has rebounded upon them, and now they are scrambling to twist this situation to their advantage. Listen, Dekumon. The Vault would have us officially attend an operation currently underway in the Western Highlands village of Hemlock. The settlement was abandoned after the calamity, and has since been overrun with beasts of all manner. The Holy See seeks to reclaim it, and my uncle, the Count, has generously volunteered his knights to clear the area of any remaining threats. It's a win-win for the Vault. The operation is small enough and far enough away from the capital that even if it is a success, no one will pay it half a mind. But the Vault will be able to say that they answered the pleas of the knights. If for any reason the operation were to fail, then the Vault will be able to attribute the failure to the Astrologian presence, and turn the high houses against Lady Leviva. I spoke with the lady about this, but she said she was not interested in the politics of the situation, only that it was her duty to aid people in need. We should speak with her, and soon. Let us make haste to Hemlock.
It sounds like a trap, and a big one. Alright, we're here. We severely underestimated the strength of our enemies, and now my men and women find themselves overwhelmed. The tight wedges we had at the day's onset have all degraded into small knots of fighting, and the number of wounded is growing faster than our chaplains can heal them. Thank the fury you arrived when you did. Still a little concerned here. Let's see. There you are. Back on your feet, sir.
Where am I? Where's my company? I must return to them.
Not a lot of gratuity, but that's not to be expected here.
I shan't forget this, Astrologian. I am forever in your debt.
See, that's much better. One more. Why aren't you still casting aspecting benefit on the knights? The question. Oh my god.
You have my thanks, but there are still many who require succor. I heard a woman scream beyond this very boulder not moments before you arrived.
Ah, crap. Especially when the mission is literally rescue Leviva in Shaniquad. That's always a good sign. Oh, hi. Bye. Yeah. Alright, you two, get up. It's just a bunch of dragons. What's the problem? Like you've never seen dragons before. Come on. Up and at 'em, you two. And who might you be?
Well, well, what have we here?
Sylvester? You who vowed to never set foot in this barbarian land again? Unless...
Oh, clever girl. Yes, it was I who hired Sealing to bring you back to Sharlayan. And if you had come back with us quietly, you would be free right now, rather than a wanted criminal facing a trial, imprisonment, even execution, depending on what you have told these tamed savages of yours. Yes, my dear, I offered you a chance and you foolishly refused it. The edict has been issued, and I am here to collect you. Though, I must place some of the blame for that on our friend Salil. Had she not insisted on playing games, perhaps you would have displayed reason back in the Black Shroud. Instead, she merely added fuel to a fire already hot with your inherent stubbornness. And now, I am forced to make the journey to this filthy realm to clean up her mess. And I suppose that starts with these companions of yours.
Dekumon, take Shaniquad and leave, right now. Neither of you are ready for magics of the variety he wields.
What, does he know Malefic 3?
But what of you, my lady? I am going to reclaim my father's journal.
Oh, brave. Your father was brave. Your father was also dead.
Lady Leviva.
And here come the knights.
Now I understand Seal's frustration. This realm is truly overrun with vermin. How we suffered here for so long, I will never know. Very well, Leviva. You leave me no choice. You may already know we have questioned Mace regarding your unauthorized passage into Eorzea. What you may not know is that we still hold him in the dark cells. Just as a precautionary measure, of course. We would not want to see him flee again before his trial. Now your grandfather is not as spry as he used to be, and I am uncertain how long the sanity a man of his age will last in complete darkness. Though the longer you delay, the closer we come to finding out. If you wish to see your grandfather released, you will come to the abandoned city in the Travanian hinterlands. There my airship will be waiting to take you back to the old world, where you'll be tried. Fairly, of course. I suppose you could run, but knowing that doing so would have grave consequences for your grandfather, and possibly your mother as well. And we would still eventually find you, of course.
Wait! My father's diary! Oh, that pompous little shit! He may still be close. Wait here.
Yeah, I doubt that. Ah, so our mastermind has revealed themselves.
Lady Leviva, who was that? I have the strangest feeling I should know him from somewhere. Sylvester, leader of the Bibliotheques, a powerful group of conservative fundamentalists who seek to control the whole of Sharlayan's knowledge. They believe that our people should not become involved in history, only be witness to it, then analyze it until all the lives lived and lost are but numbers on a page. You may remember Sylvester, Shaniquad, because he is the self-same man who has pushed for old Sharlayan to batten its doors, and has used my father's death as his rallying cry. And now, I am certain that he had my father killed. Near the end of my father's diary, he mentions being contacted by a young Sylvester, who happened to be an older classmate of his when they were both at the studium. Sylvester, looking to make a name for himself as a politician, warned my father against continuing to disseminate knowledge of Sharlayan astrology in Eorzea, a warning my father of course did not heed. Soon after, several attempts were made upon my father's life. When he subsequently looked into the matter, he discovered that there was a price on his head, and that Sylvester had put it there. I discovered a contract signed by the wretch folded in my father's journal. He had planned on revealing it to the forum on his return, but he never had the chance. Shaniquad, my father gave you that journal before he died, but you never once opened it?
I don't think it was mine to read,
But what you say, if it is true, we must get that diary back. Come, it seems that the fighting has died down. Let us report to the captain of the Knights and return to Ishgard so we may plan our next move.
Well, at least we have somebody to go punch in the nose in the next quest. There's our knight captain.
Many lives were saved because of you. If this is what we can expect from Sharlayan Astrology, I see no reason why we shouldn't have knights trained in the field. I will recommend this to our Lord Commander. I suspect he will be pleased to see the day won with so few casualties. If you require our services again, you need only ask. Come, Dekumon, let us hasten back to Ishgard.
No nod. I kind of expected one there, I'll be honest.
Moments ago, we received a missive from the commander of my father's guard. He thanked us again for our assistance in Hemlock, and has formally requested that Lady Laviva train several of his knights in Sharlayan astrology. The vault, however, remains silent, and I believe this silence to be calculated. If the edict issued for Lady Laviva's extradition has arrived, they need only turn a blind eye to Sylvester's actions until he has spirited the lady from the realm, and people simply forget that she was ever here.
Which is terrible.
But we are not going to let that happen, are we, my lady? I'm sorry, Jeannequart, but I no longer see how we cannot. Sylvester has my grandfather. He's threatened to take my mother, and he now has the one thing that could have saved them both, my father's journal. No, Jeannequart, I cannot deny my fate any longer. I have done several readings since our return, and every one is the same. Deceit, manipulation, submission. My path is clear. You, however, can carry on. Sylvester has no authority over you, or you, Dekumon. See that my father's dream is fulfilled. Promise me that much.
Oof.
I shall promise you that and more, my lady. Quimperin and I will see you to this place of meeting, and do whatever possible to make certain this Sylvester keeps his word. You know that by attending me, you put yourself in danger. He has shown he will not hesitate to kill anyone who stands in his way. And now that he knows I know of his involvement in my father's death... but you would still stand by my side in the last moments of Eorzea. I do not deserve friends such as you. Dekumon, ether is the building block of all that surrounds us, meaning that everything is connected. Someone closely attuned with that ether can, in a sense, link themselves with others, feeling their joy, feeling their pain. Scholars of the soul call this empathy. Crystal gazers and card readers call it the Wheel of Fortune. We astrologians call it collective unconsciousness. Whatever you call it, I feel that bond with you. Both of you. Thank you.
Aww. Also, I'm pretty sure we're about to learn said skill here. Yep. Hey, look! It's collective unconsciousness! A very handy shield skill. And our last 60, the Hands of Fate. I am quite aware that the mere notion of accompanying Laviva to the answering quarter is bordering on absurd, but I cannot in good faith abandon our good friend in her time of need, not after all we've been through. I am joyed to see that you have come to the same conclusion as well. Oh, you two are foolish, but I would not trade friends such as you for all the gold in the Aurum Vale. Yeah, you don't want any of that gold, lady, trust me.
But there is no gold in that... My lady, might I ask you to entertain a second option? You said that your father's diary contained a document which implicates Sylvester in Rufin's murder. What if, and I fully understand the enormity of this if, but what if Sylvester still has yet to lay eyes on that document? Suppose he only took the diary to provoke you. If we could somehow retrieve it before you boarded his airship. Oh, then we would have a bargaining chip of our own. But this man is the leader of the Bibliothecs. Their sole purpose in life is the hoarding of knowledge. Of course he read the diary. And knowing Sylvester, the document would have been set to flame the moment he discovered it. Unless we told him there was another document. One that I removed from the diary to have examined. One that was not in the diary when he stole it. Of course there is no such page, but it would be easy enough to draft something up from memory of what I saw. Something that would appear official from a distance. Or it just might work. Though there is always the chance that he may simply attempt to take the document by force. Were that to happen, we would be fortunate to escape with our lives. Sylvester is a formidable astrologian. Some say he even possesses the power to stop time.
Oof.
But I thought those were only... No, we mustn't think of that. There's little time left before the scheduled meeting in the answering quarter. Hang on a second.
Oh, I could do it like this. Why haven't I been doing this all this time?
Lady Leviva's plan is all we have. If we are to save both her and her family, we must act and trust that the stars will guide us to victory.
Oh, because the moment I hit an X, it immediately stops. That's why. Well, maybe just because that conversation was over. We'll see. Well, here's the spot. I don't see anybody around, though.
Nigh on 15 summers have come and gone since I last set foot on the paths of contemplation. Yet this place appears as if it hasn't been inhabited for centuries.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't do it. Because the moment I push the continue button, my HUD comes back.
Nature is the greatest of levelers, Shaniquad. She provides us with what we need, but when we are done with it, she is quick to take back what is, and always has been, rightfully hers. There's still time before Sylvester is to arrive. I would like to take a walk and see where my father lived. Just knowing that I tread the same ground as he may grant my mind peace. Well, then might I suggest a rooftop garden directly to the south of here? Your father and I would spend many a night there gazing up at the stars and prattling on about your dreams into the small hours. It is where he first told me of your mother, your birth mother, not the aunt who cared for you after Lady Beard died in labor, and the child she was carrying.
Aww. Just watch out for the Marlboros. They get a little testy this time of day. Eesh, this place looks like a friggin' arena, doesn't it? It's raining, it's pouring.
I wonder if my father knew that one day I would be here, standing at the same sky he did. Really should have brought an umbrella.
Yeah, so should I. Man, it's really coming down.
Did he know that he would have a daughter who was as stubborn as he? A daughter who put the lives and lives of those she had loved in danger because of an unfulfilled dream?
Yeah, probably.
I think he did. And I think that if he were here now, he would be proud. Proud that I at least tried. Proud that I did not let fate control me, but that I rather walked hand in hand with that fate down a path my father left, not only for me, but for all those who would carry in their hearts the same dream. I believe he would as well, Lady Leviva. Though I did not fully realize it until recently, these past moons, it has been as if Rufin were here by my side once again. The passion, the stubbornness, the talent. I do not think he would stand idly by as Sylvester had his way, and so I believe neither should we. Thank you, Shan. I know I have been hard on you, but it is only because you were an incompetent astrologian with an aversion to training. Not because you are anything but a good man, and a good friend. Now, let us see what the stars have in mind for us today.
Alright. We get undercover if we're going to do any sort of readings. Well, to no one's surprise, there's a duty calls at the end of the quest line.
Sylvester is not a man to be late. He will be here.
And we're going to kick his ass. Ah, we had to wait till nighttime and the rain to clear up. And there he is with an entourage. No surprise.
Ah, ever so predictable, Leviva. I am sorry to inform you there has been a change of plans. There will be no return to your homeland, no tear-filled reunion with your grandfather, no trial, only a sentence, and that sentence shall be carried out here by mine hand. You see, after reading your father's diary, it became clear that you and your wretched friends know too much. You would not believe how long I've been searching for that document. The last one that connected me to your father's, well, unfortunate accident. I tracked it down and had all the others destroyed, but this one had eluded me for almost 2 decades.
Oh, the last, you say? Sean, Dekumon, it appears we are left without a single path.
There was only ever one, my lady, and we shall see it to the end. Alright, level 60 time. Oh, you guys are squish. Oh, second squad coming in where? As soon as they get in range. them all? Ooh, that's not good. Don't worry, we're getting them all here. Oh, the others must have fallen to like a crit or something. All the cards, sir. Have more cards. Just like get super buff. Just nuke his ass down. Oh my god, we are powered up to the 9s here. Jesus! Look at this cast speed go, it's insane! Oh, whacking all those things gave us a huge power buff. Wait. If you wish to see your grandfather live, you will not kill me.
That was never our intention, Sylvester. No. I only wish to ask a few simple favors. The first being the return of my father's diary. You will then send word back to the old world to have my grandfather released immediately. And finally, you will return to Sharlayan and report to the forum that I have disappeared and am presumed deceased. Fail to do these things, and I shall tell the forum all that I know of your involvement in my father's death. I doubt they will be as generous at their mercy as I.
And what? You shall remain here and continue to spread our knowledge across this worm-eaten realm like it was sweet cream butter? You know not what you do. The barbarians of this realm have shown that they can only use their knowledge to destroy each other. They corrupt it, they lessen it, and then they forget it. They never once have shown that they are worthy of the knowledge they so defile. And yet you would still give it to them. Very well, I shall do as you ask. At least until I'm out of your sight. But know that the forum is ever listening, ever watching. Should you continue your escapades here in Ishgard, they will find out. And they will send others until they have succeeded where I have failed. But I don't want to fail.
Then you'd best make certain they do not. You are a powerful man who also happens to be a master of lies and deceit. I pray the task should prove not too difficult. And if it does, well then, I can always show them what a manner of a man you truly are. I do not think there will be any need for that. Sylvester, however wicked, is not a fool. He will not sacrifice what he has spent the past 2 decades building over a girl he, even with his back to the kobolds, sees as an inferior. Especially if you have offered him a means of accomplishing it without causing him to lose face. His pride, of course, will ache, but it's not a little wine cannot cure.
Shanaquad, I think you spelled wine wrong. There needs to be an H in there.
Oh, right, Shanaquad. Something I never thought I would admit. At least out loud. So, does this mean you will remain in the sea and continue your cheatings?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course I will. There is the pending contract with House Durandal, my obligations to the Convictors and the Hunters of Tailfeather, and then, of course, there is the matter of your incomplete training. If memory serves me, you still have only opened half of the Heaven's Gates.
Get to work, Shanaquad. Alright, we back.
Well, things did not go completely as planned, but we arrived at the fate intended for us nonetheless. Now, the question is, what do we do with this fate we have been granted? I believe this warrants another reading, but perhaps after we've had a bite to eat.
That sounds good, actually. I'm hungry.
Ah, Dekumon, you're just in time to greet the Athenaeum's newest member.
Ah, we got a haircut.
May I present you with Lord Rufin? Oh, why the surprise? Ah, but I believe I know the answer. Your senses are doubtless reeling from having witnessed poor Lady Livina's tragic end in the hinterlands.
Wink.
Contrary to popular opinion, I was not murdered at all, but merely on a long and winding journey that has finally brought me back to Ishgard so that I may teach the secrets of Sharlayan astrology once again. I mean to show the people that fate is a path that need not be walked in darkness, that the stars can be used to light the way.
I like it. Pulling a freaking dagger on us here.
And my first lesson? That those who oppose this celestial guidance shall find their foes burning on and on without end.
Aww. Well, at least she has a reason to stick around. And we'll take for our troubles celestial opposition. This concludes the Astrologian quest for Heaven's Word. Yep. And that concludes our broadcast for the day. You've completed Astrologian Part 2. Yeah, he's got the 80 quest, if you're wondering. Once again, if they didn't have a blue marker, they just got ignored from past me. But we'll get to that later. We still have a few more quests to get to before we get to that one. My friends, if you have enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more Eorzean job listings. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.